Welcome to Yeshua Kids Garden.
Hey, greetings everyone. This is Fortune from Yeshua Kids Garden, and we're here again with a guest who you can probably remember, who is by name Mrs. Patricia Inase. So, as usual, just for those who were absent, we would allow her to introduce herself as before. All right, so, Mrs. Patricia, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this episode. My name, as Mr. Fortune has said, is Mrs. Patricia Inase, and today we are going to take on a topic that affects each and every one of us in the society, and that is the environment. So, Mr. Fortune, when you are through with your organizing or introduction or whatever, we are good to go. I think we are good to go. Yes.
All right. Perfect. Okay, so now, just to move forward, as she has rightfully explained, we're going to introduce the topic first and foremost, and then we would transition into the discussion proper. All right, so for today, we're going to actually talk about the topic which we've titled, "What are the societal ills currently plunging Nigeria into chaos?" With special focuses on the environment. So, this is going to be a series of discussions and on with different focuses. But today we're going to be more so focusing on the environment, and I would just leave the floor once again for Mrs. Patricia to actually explain her understanding on the subject and whatever issues she would like to discuss as regards the subject.
Yes, thank you very much again, Mr. Fortune. I am really concerned about the environment, especially in my locality where I live. I live in Lagos, and Lagos used to be the capital of Nigeria until we got a new capital in Abuja. And I was thinking that by the time this flock of people move to Abuja, there's going to be sanity in Lagos. But that was a big fallacy as far as I'm concerned, because it's a city of, and when you talk about Lagos, Lagos is an island that is surrounded by water. And if the land is filled to capacity, of course, there are going to be issues that concerns the environment. And that is where my concern is. The environment is dirty, filthy. The last government tried to do something, and I was so happy. You could drive all the way from Aja to Ikeja, and you will not even see a piece of paper on the road because the sweepers were there. And they were happy doing this work. But all of a sudden, things are beginning to change. I don't know why. All the streets are now littered with refuse. The refuse bags are dumped at the pavement of most streets or most highways around Lagos now. So I don't know what is going on, but we will know that the environment has effects on humans and the society. So for the purpose of this discussion, let me just say, I will talk about the natural environment and probably the societal environment, let me use that word. So when you talk about the issues of the environment, we're going to take the physical, the biological, and the cultural. In those days, you wake up in the morning, you sweep your compound, and you pack and you dispose the refuse at the back. Because at the back of houses in those days, there used to be plantations, yeah? So, and underneath was where we sweep all the time. And there were structures in place that ensure that people come out in the mornings to sweep and take care of the environment. The elders will be there in the community to make sure that all the women are out to sweep their compounds. And it became part of this of them to come out in the mornings, maybe as early as 5:30.
Hey, look, these days, where economy just they fail. Come with Sapa way, no fit explain. You get brand where they sell, we go pay. We go pay, go pay, go hey, pay. Look, info, Leon Finfo, follow me, go, may we get money. Make you call your amigos, free membership, sign up quick, and no they carry body. If you buy, if you sell for this website, no commission, no cost for this website. But cool sellers, we go give you good price. And if you know like I'm gonna next guy. Hey, no middleman, we go try take your money to do your thing on a solo. If you find anything, if you shop buy for any location, where you there, so my manana. Distress sales. My manana. Distress sales. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net.
Everybody just they dance, they smile for here, man. Like see things they share for this website. Let me go check out this website, man.
Sweep and then go back. But these days, there's nothing like that. You see, even the villages are even worse off. Everywhere littered with refuse. And as if that is not enough, the men who are supposed to be elders supposed to be the elders and take care of the younger ones are the ones who are much more guilty of this menace I'm going to mention. It's a pity I'm referring to a particular gender now. They don't care about the environment as far as I'm concerned. If they care, what they do, they will not do it. You see men urinating everywhere. You are on top of the bridge, they are urinating down. They don't even know whether somebody is passing under the bridge. You go to marketplaces, you see people urinate. I mean, I don't know whether I don't want to be specific, but where I live, there's a market around me there. If you see the filth there, you will wonder how the people are surviving the epidemics that are going on. Cholera, so many things so many diseases are out there. And if somebody has a yellow fever, is it yellow fever they call it now? Some diseases that can really spread. And you urinate from the bridge on top of somebody's head down. What happened? And it's been a concern to me. So when Faith now gave me a topic to say, talk about the environment, I said, wow, as if it was reading my mind. Because I was taken aback. I said, why should all these things be happening? We are supposed to be getting civilized. And civilization came with the advent of television and everything. But we see what happens outside this country. How come our own is different in Nigeria, especially Lagos? I'm going to be very, very frank about Lagos, because Lagos is where I have lived for almost more than 20 years now, and so many years now. And I can say yes, that this is what is going on. I know those who did so well, to make sure that the environment everywhere is clean. Individuals took it upon themselves. When you talk about the Majakodumis, he spearheaded the picking of plastics from the ocean. I don't know how far he was able to go, but at that time there was the impact. You will know those floating bottles of drinks, of everything floating on the ocean. You can't see them at that time. I don't know for as we are talking now, I don't know the situation. But that was somebody who did his best to make sure that the environment is clean for everybody. So when you talk about cleanliness of the environment, it's no fluke. You just have to work hard to make sure that things are put in the proper perspective. Individuals too can help, like the man Jakudumi I just mentioned. And then even in your own little corner, by the time you keep your environment clean, you dispose of your waste properly, then things will fall in place. But I don't know whether I should say I blame the government, because if you now say, oh, go and drop your dustbin bag at the main road or under the bus stop or under the traffic lights or whatever, are they paying to collect this refuse from them?
There was a bit of a disruption there there was a bit of a disruption with the internet right there. So you made mention of they paying. Paying in what sense, in what respect? Can you explain that?
Okay. If, for example, you drop a bag of refuse on the bin, you are supposed to pay something, even if it is 100 naira, a token. You're supposed to pay a token to make sure that those who are coming to collect are paid their remuneration at the end of the month. That's what I mean. So if you go there and say, oh, just go and dump your refuse there, nothing is government policies that everything is free. No, nothing good comes easy. That's what they sing. Those people who sing there. So you don't have to do that. I believe that the government can still hold or can still put policies in place to say, look, if you drop so and so kg of refuse, this is the amount you will pay. And that will help to curb and to control. They will say, oh, but it's supposed to be free. They say everything. No, free things don't last. That's what I know. I know that free things don't last.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, so you were making mention of dropping refuse and making a payment based on the number of refuse you're dropping in the bin, right? Don't you think that actually, I don't know if you're still with us. Are you still with us? Okay. Can you still hear me?
I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
yes.
we were talking about.
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, perfect. So you were talking about the number of refuse and the weight of the refuse. Don't you think that if that is the case, don't you think people will be unwilling to drop the refuse in the central location that has been dedicated for that? Don't you think they would rather want to drop it elsewhere or litter it?
That is where there should be policies or laws to guide us as human beings, because human beings are the most difficult and complex beings on earth. If you ask a dog to sit down, that dog will sit until you come back. It will remain there. But if you ask a human being to sit down, it's going to tell you, oh, why do you want me to sit down? You will ask questions. So if, for example, they position somebody on all the bins, these are means of employment anyway. For every big bin, there's somebody there to monitor what you drop there and the amount you are supposed to pay. There should be scales there to weigh whatever you have brought. And if Nigerians know that these things are working, they will toe the line. It's just that they don't believe in anything government. They believe it's supposed to be free, which is not true. During campaigns, they will say free education, free this, free that. But by the time they get to office, they discover that there's nothing that is really free. So how do you come out to say again that, oh, you that preached free education, free sanitation, you are now coming to say pay this, pay that? They don't want that. But you have to enforce, you have to make them realize the importance of paying that money. When they pay that money, it's going to be used to buy chemicals to clean the environment, to pay those who are working there. And by the time you explain things to them, and the money, they see it, they see the actions, they see whatever you are doing with the money. Nobody will complain. Nigerians are good people. They are good people. I still believe Nigerians are good, and they are good followers too. If you give them the opportunity, they will do. We have the same Nigerians outside this country now. and they behave well when they're outside. How
Okay.
come the moment they land at the international airport, entering into Nigeria, it becomes a different ball game? So I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know.
I
But
think.
at the end,
Okay, so
mhm.
the mention of good people, I think that's a quite interesting way to term Nigerians. But I mean, in as much as we're good people and human beings generally start off good as babies, but there's a need for, just like a baby, if you don't want the baby to lose his way, you have to maintain discipline. So in as much as we are good, the reason why, as you said, with the flight and when they arrive the airport, you see a different nature contrary to what was. So it means that there is that understanding already in the land that there is a careless way of doing things or nonchalant way of doing things over here. I mean, back home in Nigeria. So let's. I want to talk about Lagos. So you mentioned Lagos being the probably the center of where this issue is. It's at its height. We can say. So how do we what is the cause? Because we know Lagos, it seems to be a place where people come from different corners of Nigeria to find better living. Think of it as the Jagba, national Jagba, from their villages all the way back, all the way to Lagos. So, would you say a contributing factor could be a feeling of the fact that we have diverse ways of thinking because people come from different areas, and Lagos originally was meant to be the capital till Abuja became the capital. So, would you say that that's influencing why it seems like there is more of this present in Lagos, because people just come from different places and there are different ways of doing things, or they don't really care because it's not their state? Would you say that that is a contributing factor?
Yes, thank you. One of the reasons I think is lack of awareness and irresponsibility. They are not people. People are no more responsible even to themselves. You see people, they may not even take their bath in the morning. You see them walking up and down and drinking. Is it, what do you call it now? taking hot drinks very early in the morning in the garages and everywhere, trying to show that they are hard. I don't hard in quotes. I don't know how I can translate that hard.
Hard
And
guys.
yes, yes,
It's the same. It's the same context there. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. So they are tough. They're strong. Nobody can tell them what to do exactly. So they're tough guys.
exactly, exactly, and they are everywhere. It's like they kept them somewhere, and at a point they now released all of them into Lagos. And when there is nowhere you will enter in Lagos and you will not see these typical area boys that they are called. And they are everywhere. They are the lords of the land. Whatever they say, come to stay. They dictate the pace, and others must follow. If you have to live well, to be yourself.
Okay, so that, if you don't mind, if I come in here very quickly, that is a very serious issue you've mentioned, and in the previous discussion we talked about decay, and we talked about that in a different light, and it's kind of like rotten fruit. You leave it to fester, it infects the rest, and that's so-called, as you would say, pandemic has festered for so long that it has spread. And in a society that is trying to survive and people are trying to find a livelihood, don't you think many people would have found solution being connected with this way of behaving and this lifestyle we find with we say with the Agberos in quotes? So how do we fix something that has festered so long, and it's something that is almost political, because we see that it has been somewhat politicized? How do we fix that? Because that's like a giant entity to war against, and we're trying to find resolution with the government itself, which is political. So how do we bring about a solution to that? Because that seems like a mighty giant to overcome.
Yes. When I was in school, I thought for about 15 years before I came to the office proper for the the remaining 19 years. And I found out that if you want the class, a noisy class, for example, if you want them to be quiet, you put the noise, the person who make noise most in the class as the prefect, to write down the names of those who will make noise. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying.
I understand you. We see this gimmick in in politics as well. Yes.
Yeah. So if you want sanity in a society or in a community, put the most troublesome person as the leader. They might challenge this, but it has worked for me. I wanted sanity in my class when I was a class teacher, and they keep telling me, Mama, this so is making too much noise. He's doing this, he's doing that. I now said, okay, you are going to be the prefect as from today, and I don't want to hear any noise from this class. Is that clear? And everybody was shocked. How can you make this noisy person the prefect who will be writing down? But do you know, he was very, very effective because he knows the antics and the tricks of everybody in the class. So he was able to bring that class under control. So what I'm trying to say is this. In a community where it's filled with agberus or whatever they decide to call themselves, put one of the stubborn ones as the leader of a group. Try your best to refine that person. And when you say refining, you can, if you have the resources, you can give him a new outlook, and he will do his work because, like I said, he knows the history, the story behind that place. And once you do that, and you when you give responsibility, you must follow up with authority. You don't just throw this boy on the streets and say, okay, go and control your fellow agberos without backing it with a law. That is where the government will come in, as far as I know. I think that they put.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They should put policies in place that if in a community, every Thursday, like we do in Lagos, every Thursday, we do environmental sanitation in the markets, especially in the markets. But when you drive out now, what will you see? You see people sitting down, putting their legs on top of the refuse, and they don't even mind, waiting for 10 o'clock to come, so that as soon as it's 10 o'clock, they start putting their wares out for sale. Nobody is there to monitor whether they are really working or not. So sanitation has become, every Thursday sanitation has become a ritual that people use it to either they sleep at home and wait till the 10 o'clock will come and then they go to the market. But who will clean the market? Nobody is taking care of nobody is concerned about that. And it's really, really sickening. I don't know.
Okay, so you mentioned something very interesting, and it just made me remember a reference in the Bible. And this is a question I want to ask you. And because you talked about your solution seems like a very effective solution, because I've seen it play out even in the cyber space, so to say. We have people who are dealing with cybercrime, and they get the most notorious hacker and they employ him to be the anti-hacker, so to say, to actually ward off other hackers. So that has been very successful in that space. So how do we now? You spoke about having one of these people who are notorious for these negativities and placing that person at the head. And you spoke about some level of brushing up and reformation in orientation, we can say, to appear somewhat civil or to act in some level of civility. Now, it takes a good leader with good intent to actually make that action possible. And that calls the reference in the Bible where it says, as the governor is, so are his officers. So if a governor has no intent, then he can never have such an officer. So first of all, it seems like the decay, even though that's a solution, but it requires an enabler. So how do we now fix that at the top? Because we've been in a society, it seems like it's okay. That's why no one is acting. So if there are no enablers to actually bring about this, it seems like an impossible task.
Yeah. It all depends on the will. If you have the will to achieve something, then all your strength and attention will be focused on that which you want to achieve. If you have a goal. I don't want to be too specific because I'm supposed to be I wouldn't say a part of the system before. I was a part of the system before, and I knew what I did even when I was in service. Yes, the issue of bagging a refuse in schools, I initiated it as director of quality assurance, and then I was in Osborne schools. There's a place they call Osborne Road in Lagos, and there are schools there. There are 10 schools of senior junior. Okay, 5 schools, but you have senior junior schools, making 10. So these 10 have 10 principals that makes the school. And when I was posted there, I saw that the whole place was littered with refuse. Children will come late. Every time the commissioner will be calling us to allow us to come and explain why is this happening, why is that happening. So when I got there, I said there must be a change. Yes. So I introduced that bagging. And by the time we started, the Loma people will come and collect the refuse every Friday. Look, I ask questions, and for those who can still remember me, because I retired so many years ago, they will know that, yes, I introduced that bagging. And if you go around schools, we started from our own district. And if you go around the schools in Lagos, now you will see that the outside, I may not know about the outside the schools, but inside the schools, you will see there will be sanity. There's cleanliness in those schools now. And I can beat my chest to say, yes, that was what I did. So if you want to achieve anything, you must be focused. You yourself, you must be focused. You can't tell students to come to school by 8 and then 9 o'clock as a principal or as a director or whatever, you are strolling into the school. No, it doesn't happen like that. Not on my watch. It can't happen. Because before some time, you will see students moving around, going to buy food, do this, do that before they the school. And I said, this cannot work. All the vendors, the moment they are accredited, they tell them for their health, what their health status and the rest. They should sell food inside. And when they sell, it should be during break time. You don't sell food by 8 o'clock when the first lesson is supposed to start. And I discovered that some principals and teachers were doing this, and I told them, I said, look, it does not work. It will not work. And they saw reasons with me. I will not use a force or anything. No, I had a human face. They could see me to say, look, this is what this woman is up to, and they will toe my line because I will tell them the truth. I told the council, there was a council very close to one of our schools, and I told the chairman, I said, look, if you don't want us to fight, please make sure that your food sellers don't sell food to my students when it is school hours. If it is break and you think you can control good, do you know what now happened? They now introduce there are now caterers and canteens or small food outlets inside the school premises now. So with that, they can easily control when the sellers start selling the food. You can sell when the lessons are going on, So these are policies, small things that they put in place so that people become aware of their environment. You cannot sit on top refuse and be chopping amala there.
these days, where economy just they fail. Come with sapa way no fit explain. You get brand where they sell we go pay. We go pay, go pay, go pay. Hey, look, info, Leon Finfo, follow me, go, may we get money. Make you call your amigos, free membership, sign up quick, and no they carry body. If you buy, if you sell for this website, no commission, no cost for this website. But cool sellers, we go give you good price. And if you know like I'm go the next guy. Hey, no middleman, we go try take your money, to do your thing on a solo. If you find anything, if you sharply buy for any location, where you there, so my manana, distress sales. My manana, distress sales. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net.
Everybody just they dance, they smile for here, man. Be like say things they share for this website. Maybe go check out this website, man.
No, that's not, it will not work. Yes, it will not work. Not on my watch. It will not work.
Okay, so
that's it.
yeah, so many things I want to draw from you. So many things I want. This topic in itself, it's even large as a subtopic because there's so many angles to discuss, and I don't think our time would be enough. So, let me just search out the most relevant from the questions I've been able to get out from your points. So the first question is, do you subscribe to the fact that laws actually shape culture? Because I believe that should be an aspect of culture. When we look in the Bible, for example, we see the laws were in fact defining the people by their way of life. So, and that also, just going back to what you said about the airplane flight, how the nature was quick to change. Why? Because they knew that they could behave in a certain fashion based on the location they find themselves. Do you subscribe to this as well? Do you believe that laws actually shape culture, the way people function, and it actually imbibes a nature in them?
Yes, I believe so. I believe so because if culture, what is culture? It's a way of behavior, the life of the people, that's what you refer to as culture. But if you don't, as human beings, if you don't structure that, they live at their own pace. I don't know whether, they live at their own pace. They don't have a conscience, conscientization. There must be a conscience. If people don't have conscience, they do things anyhow. But if they have, they will know that if I eat biscuits and I throw the paper outside the door, outside the car window, either it's going to fall on the car behind or it's going to drop on the floor. And if you drop it on the floor, who will pick it? Is it not the sweepers? And if the sweepers are not there, are the sweepers not human beings? They are human beings. And when you throw your food or things anyhow, it becomes nuisance to the society. So when you say whether laws they shape culture, yes, because if you tell people don't do this, don't do that, they will follow. And before you know, the culture of the people begin to change and reflect exactly who they are.
Okay, so
like I keep saying that.
Go ahead.
I keep saying that Nigerians are good followers. They are good followers. They just need good leaders to tell them that this is what I want, and follow it, and they will follow.
So it seems like democracy has now become, in some way, I would say, a blessing and a curse, because for you to actually imbibe the culture of something like law, before laws can become culture with people, it has to happen over a period of time. So during the course of rotation, which is what democracy introduces, it seems like once one good person steps in and is out, and we have someone who is unruly or someone who doesn't care, it seems that we're going back, and it's just like medication treating a very serious disease. The moment there are any relapses, then you have remission in that respect. So it's kind of like what we have in the society. Would you agree? Because it seems that this notion of tenor and democracy, it's both a blessing and a curse. Would you say so?
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is. And countries and economies have evolved out of this democracy and they come out strong. What is different in Nigeria? How come we are different? Like I said, you are obeying all the rules and regulations outside the country, but the moment you land at the international airport, you are a different human being. Why? That is what keeps baffling me. That if you understand the culture of the people, in those days, cleanliness, they say, was next to godliness. But how many people can beat their chest to say, okay, we are very clean, so we are very close to God? I don't know whether they are here in Nigeria. I don't know. If we are. If they are, they are not men. I'm not going to say we, because when I say we, I'm including myself. So I try my best to see that I bring sanity to any environment where I find myself. And if everybody can do one or two bits in his or her own little corner, then there will be progress. Then when you talk about policies, if the government can put simple but policies that everybody can adhere to, people must go out to clean the environment. But when Nigerians now saw that whether you go or not, nothing is going to happen, Joe, they decide to relax. When the military governors like that Rasaki was here, Governor Rasaki was a military man who was in Lagos for some time. You know, people they know that if this man comes and meets the refugee here, he's going to deal with everybody around there. But with politics, which is democracy, government of the people by the people, are we not the people who put them there? Whoever is ruling us today is as a result of our actions. And I keep saying that a nation or a society gets the type of leadership they deserve.
Okay, so just to continue off what you were saying about Governor Rasaki, can you just continue that story again, please?
Yes. I was saying that during his time as the governor of this state, he was very, very concerned about the environment. And when you see people littering everywhere, he didn't take it lightly at all. And because people they remember him for that. So the bottom line is to awake people's conscience, create this awareness. This National Agency for Orientation or whatever, they are supposed to go around to educate the people on the importance of clean environment. You cannot even overemphasize that, because people who have conscience, they will know that a clean environment is the best environment that to prevent diseases or whatever, and to avoid them going to the hospitals almost every day. So I still believe that policies should be put in place so that when you give responsibility to the National Orientation Agency, empower them to do a follow-up. If you do any program without a follow-up to get a feedback, to know the effects of that policy, then you have not done anything. It's just throwing money down the drain. And like I said, the era of free things, social free, they are gone. Things don't come cheap. Things don't come free. You know, you have to pay for everything. Even I have not stayed outside the country for long, but I know that people who stayed there, they say you pay for almost everything apart from the air that you breathe.
Oh, you pay
which
for
I know.
You pay for the air too. Believe it or not, because right now this whole mention of CO2, you pay a very small stipend for the air, and also air pollution. So to say, you pay for the air indirectly. You pay for the air.
Yeah, so that you see, I didn't even know this one. So you see that government policies must be effectively monitored. You know, you monitor them, you put the policies there, you monitor whatever you have put in place, and to see people's reaction. When the environment was clean, people were I see this place, so it's clean. Or it used to be this place were full with a heap of refuse. It's now clean, and people were making positive comments. So I don't know. I don't know whether it's the will. I don't know. I'm not a politician, and I don't know.
I think
So
that brings us back to democracy, because I feel the fact that there is no lasting it seems that the good ones don't last, so to say, and
is
the
that
fact that it is rotational, it's okay. Now the wicked ones will say it's just for a time, and even within that tenor, they're going to try the most to frustrate that person out of office. So it
Mhm.
seems the we've let the Bible mentions that a little leaveneth the whole lump. So just like rotten fruit actually infects the others, so the infection is so deep, and as you mentioned, it seems that on so many levels we have an endemic on so many levels. So talking about I think you made mention about people just sitting comfortably next to the refuse and mounting their items for sale just next to the refuse. It seems that you also made mention of a reference when you said that people seem to have given up, and I would like to shed some light possibly on that context, and probably phrase it in a question. Would you say people have given up in the sense that those who are good, it's kind of like we're leaving that if you cannot beat them, join them, or those who are not even ready to join them, if you cannot beat them, what can you do? You watch it happen. So it seems like, just like we spoke about the reference to the Agberos being so strong, we also have an endemic in this respect, being too strong to actually effect change. And how durable is that change? Because we know with democracy, we're going to get a rotation that would bring about someone that would probably institute something that is contrary. Makes me think about another reference. If one builds up and one scatters, what is the point of their labor? So it seems like we're advancing and we're regressing, and it's like we take two steps backwards. How do we fix this issue? I know you mentioned speaking about how other nations seem to understand, okay, dirtiness cannot be excused. Filthiness cannot be excused. Okay, so we have these nations having these standards. How do you think they were able to get the standards and maintain the standards irrespective of who is in power? What can you say might have been used to bring about this?
yes, it goes back to your conscience again, because once the conscience is dead, hmm, there is nothing. It's like flogging a dead horse. Once the conscience, but if the conscience is awake, you will know good from bad. But if you don't have it, you will just say, or you either you throw away your face, or you say it's none of my business. But the moment you say it's none of your business, then things are allowed to fall apart. But if you make it your business to do one or two corrections around you, you will know that at the end of the day, there'll be progress. Human beings are human beings. And that we are in this part of the world is not an accident. I believe, let me not go into that, but in my own belief, I know that anything that happens to anyone, he or she must have contributed to it at one point or the other. That's another topic for another day. But you don't ask me a question about that.
No, as a matter of fact, I'm not going to ask you a question because you're just validating what I read. What I read is that this is actually a standard in many books that speak about development and growth as an individual. Yeah, so I totally concur with that. But when that time comes, we will discuss that. Okay, so all right. So next question.
Okay.
I want to take you back to the last thing you mentioned, because when we started this discussion on environment, you spoke about environmental issues being natural and societal. Okay, so can you kindly explain the natural aspect? So the societal, I think that's what we've discussed extensively. What is this aspect of natural?
Okay. Yes, when the natural, we have to do with all those floods, and what is responsible for flooding, especially where we are now. All the gutters are blocked. You eat everything you throw there. Women very early in the morning, 5 o'clock, they go and empty their dustbin inside the gutters. So what do you expect from such an environment? Of course, the environment is going to revolt and say, look, if this is what you want, I'll give you what I have. And before you know, the whole place is flooded and people are swimming on top of water. So what about when you talk the pollution, the chemical pollution? There are a lot of industries around here. Even though I think that aspect has been curbed to a large extent, because no industry wants its name to be mentioned on air to say, oh, this company is very dirty or that. So they are working. I think they are working on that. Then when you talk about the economies, the managers they have enough, or they should be given enough money to manage that environment. Like the Loma, for example. If you go to Ojota in Lagos, and all the tippers that bring refuse, they dump them there because there are sceneries, and the government has done well in that respect. They take them there and they burn them and turn them to manure. I don't know whether they sell them or they dash them out to gardeners. I don't know. But that is a right step in the right direction. And the nature, the food we eat too is part of it. When you go outside this country, they eat chips, these are potato and the rest. But here, we eat amala, eba, fufu, and these people are busy pounding and cooking on top of the refuse. And people are there sitting and, making sure that those people don't touch. You know what I mean? Try to scare the flies, yes, so that the flies don't come competing with them. So the natural environment, as far as I know, is if you keep the biological, you have the biological, that is the health aspect of it, asking or appointing, or we have health officers, but I don't know how effective they are. I don't know. Like I said, it's long I left the system and I don't know what's happening again. So, you put regulation, you put laws in place and follow up those laws. Sit here, don't sit here. And if you see somebody sitting there, why are you sitting there? Tell me the reason. If the person gives a genuine reason for sitting there, okay, but if the reason is not genuine, you should not sit here. And the idea of just using a big hammer to kill cockroach, I don't think I like that too much. You go to a market, the Kai people, they will carry people's tomatoes, pepper, meat, almost to carry stove to go and cook the pepper and meat in the office. That is not how it's supposed to be. First of all, you must tell them the reason for not doing those things they do. If you say don't throw refuse here, give an alternative where they can throw the refuse. Oh, this is where you are supposed to be dropping your amala paper wrappers. Why did you drop it here? You will see that a typical Nigerian woman will quickly run down to say, okay, not verse,
Okay, so can I come in here just real quick, because yes. You mentioned, I think you touched upon this where the government fails to actually provide a solution. Like, you want something done, but there is no solution in place, no alternative in place. But I also want to speak about the stubbornness on the part of Nigerians, wouldn't you say? Because I've seen instances, it's not in all instances where they are not duly informed. I've seen instances where market people have been informed to actually find a solution, even dating to as much as maybe 2 years period, and yet seem to take offense where there is no solution in place, or they come to take their stuff. So I know it's a two-part problem. We have the government not actually providing a solution for them, but we cannot deny the stubbornness on the part of the people. So that brings in two subjects. Would you agree that Nigerians are somewhat stubborn in this respect?
Yes, I agree with you. A typical Nigerian is very stubborn. And if you say, don't park here, as the government, you must provide a parking space so that if you want to penalize somebody, you say, oh, but there's a space for you to park. Why did you not park there? Do you know what is happening now? They put parking lots in markets and maybe some public spaces and say you must pay 300 naira to park. How much is your salary? And if you have to park your car because you want to buy tomato of 500 naira and you now pay a fine by parking wrongly of 300, does that make sense? So one thing I think is wrong is not providing adequate facilities. But at the end of the day, Lagos, for example, generates a lot of revenue. And if they do that, they should be able to use. Lagos was becoming a small London, but all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. Whether it's fatigue or they're tired or the novelty has worn off, I don't know. If not, the excitement with which we welcome this government with flyovers, trains, and everything running around, I thought we were going to finish the race, but it's like we've lost our breath halfway. I don't know. But government should try to put facilities in place, especially when they make laws. Don't do this. This is the reason why you should not do that. And if you tell the people the reason why they should not do certain things, they will all agree. Nigerians, they know what is good though. Most of them have relations or brothers or children outside the country, and they tell them exactly what is going on outside.
So it seems that this okay. So it seems that this has become like there is like you mentioned, you don't know what happened along the line. I think basically what happened is corruption, because corruption actually switches the interest. Okay, so because there is an interest. If you are interested in the well-being of the collective, then you would do the needful for the collective. But if you're only thinking about you and yours, then it's only a natural tendency for you to actually neglect the needs of the collective. And what has happened in essence from your explanation is the fact that people are now saying, why should I be the one to be punished? Why is everybody else not punished? Because there's so many people doing the same things, and it feels unjust when what is not supposed to be a norm has become a culture. So that seems to be what has happened. So just to close, is there any final note on this subject? What would you like to say as a closing?
As a close, I want to talk about what you just mentioned, corruption. Corruption is endemic. And, unless they do something, but what can be done except you talk to your conscience? It goes back to conscientization. And the National Orientation Agency should be responsible for waking up the conscience of Nigerians. Nigerians are... I don't know whether they are spirits. They don't the type of spirits they have. I can't even understand. Because when I was visiting schools, most times if I get to a school and I look at the register and I see some names that they are familiar to me, and I know that these people are probably from my end of the of Nigeria or whatever. They are the first persons I go to and say, "Come, let me have your work." And because they know me for that, the message went around that if that mama come, he is going to be asking you. So make sure all your records and things are up to date. And that one really helped, because I don't like to be partial. I want to do things that I can always explain. Like everything I'm saying here now, there are things I can beat my... If you say, okay, well, you are talking about dirty market, this and that, come and show me them. I will take you there. And if you want me to start mentioning, oh, this one did it, I will. If you want me, I will tell you, because I have nothing to lose at my age. What am I still looking for? I'm not looking for anything, anybody's favor. No. So corruption Who man no man. Because you know this person.
So I
Are
think
you still there?
I think we had a disruption there. So you said man no
Yeah.
man. So let's just pick it up
Man
from
no
there.
man.
Yes.
So man no man is killing the system, and that is the root of corruption. My brother did though, and my sister. But I want to mention some. There's a state. The son was the governor of a state. Do you know what the father used to do? Early in the morning, he will just drive around schools and say, or go to the secretariat. All those who come late, he will just drive down, lock the gates, and say, "Not spoil work for my pikin. I beg you, live there, live there." You know that that kind of a thing. Yes, he was in that, and people loved him for that. You don't have to spoil work for my child because my child is the governor or is the permanent secretary. Then you just be coming anyhow. No way. So because they knew that if you don't get to your office on time, the father of the governor is going to lock you outside. Of course, you will wake up and get there on time. So that is we need iron hand in this country. Yeah, if we begin to pamper the hey, na governor son, na governor daughter, na mama na I mean no, it's spoiling the system. It is, and until we leave this this tugger of man no man, we are not going anywhere, my dear. We're not going anywhere. Not in our generation. Maybe next generation, yeah. But next generation, are they really interested in this country? All of them don't jackpot finish.
It seems that it will take three, or would say 3 tenors, 2 terms to actually make a fix, and with people who are intentful. Because if I don't think for a good person, I do not think that 8 years is enough to actually effect the change. We need that to be consecutive. We need 8 years of people with the same mission to actually make this fix, because it is a very huge task to undertake. So with that said, so we thank you for today. We obviously the discussions are not exhaustive on this subject. I don't think it's something we can just leave behind. We might also come again and discuss this at a later date, but most likely we're going to discuss a different aspect of societal ills in the next discussion. So as usual, you can feel free to contact us. Feel free to let us know. Of course, we would rub minds as usual on the next subject we will discuss. And you, viewers, if you would like to advertise on this program, if you also like to come on board this program to have a chat, feel free to contact us via our email. You can find that in the description. And of course, we ask you to please like this video, share it to as many people as possible, and if this has touched you, feel free to show your support. If you have any opinions, feel free to use the comment section down below. And with that said, we thank you once again, Mrs. Patricia Inase. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And we will see you next time. Have a nice day and bye-bye.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. It's always my pleasure to contribute, because this is the only way I can open up. Yes, and talk about things that are happening around me, which I'm not comfortable with.
And we appreciate you very much for that. Thank you very much for the time and for the sacrifice. Have a nice day.
Yeah, my name is Taruwar of your Shark Kids Garden. Okay, my name is Taruwar, the cool one. Yeah, I said it. I'm the cool one. Yeah. Okay, so just kidding, by the way. Gotta be humble here. Okay, so now my name is Taruwar, and I'm the guy with the announcements, the informations, and the reminders. So, speaking of reminders, if you are yet to subscribe to all our platforms, subscribe to us and follow us on TikTok at yasharkidsgarden.ykg, Instagram, yasharkidsgarden, and lastly, on YouTube. Come on, you want to take a guess? Yashar Kids Garden as well. Okay, so follow us on all these platforms. It's really that easy. This way, you never miss out on anything. So come on now, it's just a button. Click it. Click the subscribe. Click the follow. Come on now. Click it. Click it. Click it. Come on, click it. Alright, so now the announcements. In some time and over a period of time, we will be organizing some quiz which you will have the chance to participate in. Alright, so now what will the quizzes be based on? It will be based on what we've learned so far. I will be the host and I will be asking the questions based on all we have treated in the past. So people with the correct answers will be selected at random for a gift or cash prize, which will be issued by our sponsor for today. So, just before we introduce you to our sponsor, in case you would like to join our community, WhatsApp to be precise, or follow our channel on WhatsApp as well, the link is in the description. Come on now, be with the cool team. Yeah, the cool team. Okay, now back to our sponsor. So now, who is our sponsor? Who is that awesome entity, or what is that awesome entity that is helping us out, or that is showing us the great support that we need to make this show a success? So now let's get to it. Our sponsor for today, and our primary sponsor in all, is distresssales.net, a platform where you can buy distress sales items. Also sell, of course. And you know what? Sign up is free. Who does that if not distresssales.net? So join in today, join their platform, and actually see and sell, view, and buy. Okay, distress sales items. Okay, so check it out. Okay, so just to give you an idea of what they do, their advert will be right on the side over here, and I'm just gonna be here keeping quiet. Right on the side here will be their advert. That way you understand what they're really all about. Okay. All right, so I'll be on the side.
Hey, look, these days, where economy just they fail. Come with Sapa way no fit explain. You get brand where they sell we go pay. We go pay, go pay, go pay. Hey, look, info, Leon Finfo, follow me, go, may we get money. Make you call your amigos, free membership, sign up quick, and no they carry body. If you buy, if you sell for this website, no commission, no cost for this website. But cool sellers, we go give you good price. And if you know like I'm go the next guy. Hey, no middleman, we go try take your money, they do your thing on a solo. If you find anything, if you sharply buy for any location, where you there, so my manana, distress sales. My manana, distress sales. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net. Distress sales.net.
Everybody just they dance, they smile for here, man. Like say things they share for this website. Maybe go check out this website, man.